do a phone number. Shema Yasharala Yahweh
Allah Hayanawa
Allah Haynawa
Shema Yasharala Yahweh Allah Hayanawa Shema Yasharala Yahweh Allah Hayanawa Shema
Yasharala
Yahweh Allah Hayanawa
Tribal, the war cry, you know, this is war. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Badash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, charges the truth. Honors and salutations to the elect, and to the men that died doing the work of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for the shell of our spirits. To the men, women, and children that believe on the true name of the Father and the Son. The Father's name is Yahweh, He exists. The son's name is Yahushua. He is the deliverer, because he's come to deliver us out of this captivity that we're in. It's the Church of Philadelphia, once again,
Once
on
again,
the
his
highways
song.
and hedges,
Ah,
coming out here to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom.
ah.
You know, as we know it, as we grew up in it, as America. All right, we're going through the filtering out through the scriptures. It's many ways to prove that where we're at is goes back to Babylon, Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah, and Chaldea. Because look at the region that they're fighting for. Over there where Iran, Iraq and all that, that's Babylon was right there, Chaldea was right there, and all that region. And they're still fighting, man. So the spirit never changes with these people, man. You know? They just basically they're in the same spirit, still trying to fight for to keep that control. You know? But the Lord is removing the control from them. All right? And that's what this whole thing is about. This whole war is about for the oil, the money, because they want to collapse the economy. Whoever got the most resources, because that's what world money is. Whoever got the most resources, that's who's supposed to rule the next kingdom to come. But we already know who's going to rule the next kingdom to come, man. You know?
Yeah, through divine intervention.
That's right.
Like the scriptures say, there's no new thing under the sun.
That's right.
So, this is Rome 2.0, Rome all over again, and it will go down. They thought they were going to have negotiations today, right? But Iran said, hey, Pakistan, we out of here. And then Trump had to cancel the trip for the U.S. negotiators, right? So, hey, the king's heart, the king's mind is in the hands of Yahweh Shalom Shah. Whatever they think they got going on, hey, the Lord, it's under the Lord's direction.
Well, grab me Revelation 17, verse 1. Just to prove what I was saying earlier about how we know this place is mentioned of in the Bible, how we know what America is. All right, go to the scriptures.
God, real quick, it's Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Yes, there you go.
Where also our Lord was crucified.
That's right. So what's it say? Read that again.
God, this Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Yeah, and that's right here. And they're dead bodies because they're not physically dead. They're spiritually dead. And this place has the same spirit as what it's mentioned. Sodom, Egypt, bondage, the rainbow people. Because when you really look at Hollywood and all that, the whole thing is they out there doing you gotta be one of those happy people that really survive, man. They're really thriving in that industry.
Yeah,
But I say any industry with those people, man. Where you want to make a lot of money, man.
Hey, and they raping little boys and little girls.
Yep, they're going to give a boy for a harlot.
Right. All of them been touched.
Yo, and you know what? Now that you said that, they got down there in Texas, right? It was they're the, I believe. Well, I know they're the Northern Tribe because ICE grabbed them up from different regions, but they specifically sent them to Texas because Texas you can't have abortion. It's illegal. There's no matter what, whether you get raped or not. These little girls was raped starting like 13 years old and up, man. And they all pregnant. They section them all off in one area. So you think Esau don't got hell to pay for that, man?
Right.
And that's how you know that we in Jacob's trouble right now, man. We in Jacob's trouble right now. No, and that's and the people. That's why the brother when he brought that out, Sodom and Egypt. Right? They raping the little girls, and I guarantee they raping the little boys too.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, they getting a little
That's what
boy.
Esau does.
Yeah.
That's what he gets down on. Man. You know, and we just pointing it out. You got that little get down on Revelation.
You want me to start at the top?
Yeah, no.
It's the book of Revelation, the 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials,
Right.
and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many
You
waters.
see that? So the angel said he was going to show John the Revelator the judgment of the great whore that sit on many waters. What is that talking about? Who is that talking about? You know? What land is that talking about? And this is the time of Revelation, right? You know? The Christian church, they would never believe that's this place that we sit at right now, man. You know? Read that again, Brother Bashar.
All right. This book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
And you know that many waters is many tongues. All these different nations that's here, this is a melting pot. You know? America is a big melting pot. Even in Philadelphia, in the city of Philadelphia, you got Russians, you got Ukrainians, you got Cambodians, you got Chinese, you got Japanese, you got Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, you name it, man. Like what's that song? Green, taters, niggas, you name it. You got all that right here. In Philadelphia, that's just the city of Philadelphia. So just imagine a whole Babylon, man. Like a gumbo. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's talking about how it sits upon all nations too,
Exactly.
with its philosophies,
Yo, okay.
right? That Republican and Democrat bullshit,
Okay.
right?
And then you got all those too.
Yeah.
You know? Go ahead, bro.
It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
Yo, all the nations. Every king that is on this planet has committed fornication. What's that? They went against their doctrines and everything to go with Babylon told them to do. Right? But who's doing this, man? You gotta think about that. When you read it, like what place is this talking about?
Yeah.
What nation is this talking about? What country is this talking about? You gotta do the math, get to the receipts. You know? Go through the history.
Hey, and Yahweh Shema Shah shows us it actually in real life, because you got all these nations wearing suits and ties.
You know what they say in real time. And that right there should show you something.
You know what I mean? That's
That
not
right
your,
there, that
that's not your
alone
garb.
should show you
Hey.
who it's talking about.
But-
That alone should show you who's running things.
Right.
And also, when you go over there to the state of Israel, the Israelis, all the leaders of the earth, you got to put that throne on your head.
Right.
And you got to go to that wall. So that's also showing you who's behind the scenes too, man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. You the man
Maybe
behind the
a
door in
lot of
Scooby Doo.
Right.
Yeah.
Ashkenazi Russians, bro. You know them Ukrainians. You know the people that's the 13 tribes, so to speak. When you read that book, you know what I'm talking about. You know, got it, bro.
Man, got the nerve to call the Persians Amalek.
Right.
And we know they the Elamites.
They try
Got
to hide who
the
they are.
got nerve to put that on them.
Right.
Dude, come on, man.
That's right.
You are through.
That's right.
They don't want to drink up that cup.
Right.
Right.
Oh, you're gonna get a double cup. It says, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
See what you just said? You said with the ties and all that.
Right.
It said the inhabitants of what? The earth?
Con.
Come on, man. The whole earth, man.
That democracy bullshit too.
It ain't say world because guess what? We got different worlds on the earth. So it said the inhabitants of the earth everybody wants to be like Esau, man. And I saw the video. It was he's in not Congress, but he's somebody in the political world. All right, but he's I think he would be like a Ammonite, right? He was like, "Yo, give me my white sheep over my head," but he said, "Make the zones of my eyes slip so I can see better instead of making it whole." You know, joking like that, but still, that's letting you know that all the inhabitants of the earth want to be like Esau. You know, and because they want to be like Esau, guess what? They're going to have that same fall as Esau. You know. And when we go into the scripture right here, the Christian church can't tell you what place this is talking about. They get confused. You know? Keep going.
It says, so he carried me away. Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness.
Yeah.
And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
There you go. Who's that woman? That's sitting on that scarlet-colored beast. And scarlet is the color of purple. That's a royal color. You know? That's a royal color, man. Only kings could afford to even purchase that to even write, because it's extracted from a certain sea creature. And it's tedious work to do that, man. So it costs money, man. You know? To make that ink. The average citizen couldn't afford to do that. That's why even to this day, man, when you sign something like royalty, they sign it in purple 2 different days, man.
It says, it said, yeah. It says, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
That scarlet, that red. And what does Esau represent? He's red. Why his blood so forth through his skin, man? You know, and that's the ones that's in control, the Edomites. Go ahead, bro.
Full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold.
That's what I was talking about. The purple.
Yeah.
That's why I got it. I jumped the gun. You know, so she was arrayed in purple. You know, meaning the words. You know, so I jumped the gun.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
And decked with gold and precious stones.
And that represents royalty, man. Rulership. That's who's in control. That's who's running things, right? You know, throughout the whole earth. Go ahead, bro.
Having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
And yo, who's the one that's doing that now? Wherever they go at, the Western influence, wherever they go, look what happens to a nation. You got the Persians over there twerking, the so-called Iranians.
Right.
You know, the ones Iraq. You got them over there twerking and all that. You know? All these nations, they drunk of that cup. Well, but you gotta understand who's the nation right now that's polluting all these people, man. And you can only come up with one. And that's talking about Babylon, America, man.
Yeah.
For people that, America's not written up in the Bible, well, you don't understand the mystery. Because it wasn't given to you.
Right.
You know? When it's plain and simple. When you got spiritual eyes to see, you can see it. You know?
And the real lawless society.
Exactly.
Because they got rules and laws over there on the east, right? So, but they want you to join in their demonocracy, you know? And the laws come from the scripture. Well, that's why we call this a lawless place.
It's the book of 2 Ezra chapter 15. I'm going to start at verse 46. It says, "And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always declared to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith God Yahweh, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence."
Yo, you know what? And that's crazy. You talk about Israel. Look what's going on over there too. What all them kids put out on the streets. Also, it's going to America too. You know, when you go into all that, because they're trying to be like the golden child, all those places. But ultimately, every place goes back to Babylon. Man. Right here, where we at, right here. Everybody wants to be like the king. The so-called white man, at one point in time, the things were shifting like that. He got the most respect on the whole planet. But his respect is being stripped away from him, man. You know? And you gotta have spiritual eyes to see it. That's why they don't even want to like trade in this money. And all it is to collapse with it. You know? And we gotta get some focus.
Hey, and Khan, Yahweh Shai shows us too. Because every time it comes up for a vote at the UN, all these nations vote one way, and America and their little cronies vote another way.
Yep, they like, no.
Yeah.
To hell with you.
So that tells you right there, nobody's just going to get along with America anymore.
Right.
That's done.
They said they don't negotiate with the T word. And basically, that's what I think it was the brother, the dude from Turkey. That's what he called America, the T word. You know? So, hey, man, the nations are waking up and they're mad, man. They're angry because they fell for the open dope. The open dope. You know? Go ahead, bro.
It says, it says, thou hast, verse 40, 2 15 and 47. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her. And that's basically like, you know, all the world that was drunk with the fornication. You know, being like unto her. Following that same image.
Right.
It says, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory.
Don't deck thy daughters in whoredom, being served while you're thinking of a God. You can do whatever you have, whatever you want. That Alice approach, do as thou wilt. You know? That's what it's about. Why? Because they want you to, well, it's basically geared for the Israelites to keep you away from your power, man. Alright? But the Lord got to put the spirit on us, and He's putting the spirit on us to come back, you know?
All right.
Down on there.
It says that they might please and glory in thy lovers. It says that they might please and glory in thy lovers.
Yeah, please and glory in thy lovers. It's levels.
No, lovers.
Lovers. Which is love. What's your love?
How they be like, he's in bed with Americans in bed with everything. They all in bed like the same. You know, babies, treaties, and fuse together. sitting in the same table, you know.
And
So
they control the
pleasing
narrative.
Each other with deals. Oh, we could.
Praising each other's throne.
Yeah, yeah. But America used to control the narrative until www.com. They thought it was good for them, but hey, it actually, again, the king's heart is in the hands of Yahweh Shah. So now everything's being exposed instantly, right? And you got hackers, making sure that the information is put out there. So that's why they gotta now bring back these draconian laws to stop the truth from coming out. So that's why they gotta label it as hate speech, label it as domestic tease, right? They gotta do these things so that they can try to take back control of the narrative. Too late, you're done. Everybody's putting stuff out there about Epstein Island and all the other abominations you did at them gatherings that you had, right? All that stuff is out. You're done. You know?
Yo, give me Luke 21:17.
God,
What is that?
it says, which I always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore said God.
Man,
And
that's it. She's hated
Yeah.
for all her work, her inventions, you know,
All her works
yeah.
and inventions.
all her works and her inventions. What's her works? Look what Babylon is doing to the people.
All right.
Look how matter of fact, that's what I sent y'all this week. What that experiment over there at home.
Oh, God.
That was
That's wicked.
how they tested on the Jake. Jake is always to be the guinea pig.
Right.
And I forgot about that. It just popped up on my phone. I was like, oh shit. But
Wow.
I was in there when they had the when they reopened it, when they opened the gym, and the dude that was working on it, it was asbestos in it. So that whole jail, it had an eerie feeling to it. You could feel like that, like it was just eerie, you know? And a lot of those men, they started bugging out. They became drug addicts, man. Just because we saw his testimony.
Right.
You know, they was human guinea pigs, man. That reminded me of the Tuskegee Airmen, man.
Right.
When they hit them with syphilis and all that, they was like, and that's why, like, even to this day, that's why there's nothing new under the sun, man. Nothing. Let's look at what they do. And they do it right in front of your face. And they got millions and millions of dollars, man. Billionaires. And guess they're I believe one of the top ones was Johnson & Johnson, and they keep coming up. Johnson & Johnson is a heavy one that, well, matter of fact, they had the Yakut, man. That venom juice that they was giving up. My mom took the Johnson & Johnson, man. Then UPenn was behind that shit too.
Right. All these universities.
You know? They wicked as hell.
Hey, Johnson didn't they have to do a recall of that baby powder?
Yeah, exactly. Because it was causing kids.
Right. Like, come on, man. Everything you produce.
And yo,
Fuck somebody up.
And that was one of the major things they were talking about.
Hey.
It was like, and it was Johnson & Johnson that they were talking about that skin stuff that they was putting on. And they said the CIA was behind it, the FBI was behind it, the Army was behind it, right here in Philadelphia, up there in Holmesburg, man.
Yeah.
On the inmates. And that joint was built in like the 1800s, man.
Hey, because they
So
always
imagine
wanted to get
what
rid
the
of us.
spirit is still that they got
Yeah.
on Jeep, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, the Lord says, be fruitful and multiply. They've been trying to depopulate us, especially since they had us over here.
Yeah, they got all the people behind it that you named. Because that's a bioweapon.
Hey. All of their products. All these recalls, finding out things.
They've always been systematic.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's that weed killer they had out? The weed killer causing all types of dysfunctions in your body. Everything they produce. You said Luke 21:17? This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 17. And ye shall be hated of all men.
Start up a couple of verses.
God. Verse 15, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom,
That's right.
which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
So what we're saying, we're telling you the truth. So all our enemies know that. So what we're telling you is irrefutable. When you go and look it up in your books, you'll be like, damn, they wasn't lying.
God.
Go back in history and see if they're lying. No? And that's what the apostles be telling you, man. They have 100% truth. You got to seek and you shall find, man. So you don't want to be considered a liar. Because if one thing is off in your doctrine, you don't got 100% truth. You got to lie, man. Your whole doctrine becomes a lie. You know? So we out here telling you. Everything that we're telling you is irrefutable, right? The adversaries, what they going to say? What can they say? Nothing.
And most of them guys sound so crazy to true men of the Lord that we know you've been set up.
Right.
Ain't no way that you haven't been.
They're throwing scriptures up this way.
You know? It says, oh, here we go. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk
Right.
and friends.
Right.
And some of you shall they cause to be put to death.
Right. See, why
There you
is
go.
that? Because it will be speaking. You know? You're going to be betrayed by your parents, even your children.
Right. Right.
You know, my son was talking some fly shit not too long ago. I had to laugh. I said, hey, man, the scriptures already talk about this. So you got to be unbothered with whatever comes away if you're a prophet. Lord's willing, we be one.
Oh.
We don't know. We just been called out here to do a job, and that's what we're doing. You got
Wow.
to do it to the best of your ability, man. You know? And tell the truth. And for the truth, and for telling the truth, that's like old Skino said, man. I fucks with him for that. He said, man, you know, he's like, when you always tell the truth, when you're around a bunch of dudes just want to lie, because they want to they go, thank you, bro. You too, brother.
Wow.
You and your family, bro. He said, man, if you're around, he said, if you tell always the dude that's telling the truth, and you're around a bunch of liars and dudes just want to be Joe with each other just because this person got that, this person got that. So it's all fake. He's like, they want to hate you. He's like, they want to hate you because you always want to be the one that's telling the truth. So you the oddball. Well, really, them niggas is the fake ones, man.
Right.
You know? That's just like this earth, man, this world, man. Everybody, as long as you a fake ass nigga, oh, what's this? And you can key it up. You're a friend of this world.
Nah.
You're a friend of this place, man. We're not friends of this place because we're putting out all the injustices, man. And they don't like it. They're what we're considered in the other world. Oh, they're uppity niggas. You know?
Because finally, the truth ruffles feathers.
Exactly.
You know, so
And we ruffling a lot of them.
you saying the truth in a place full of lies.
Right.
You know, in every way, shape, or form. You know, so when you tell them who they are, they're not used to hearing that every day. So to them, matter of fact, what's that? What Paul was speaking to the Grecians, right? The Israelite foreigners. They was like, who's this vain Babylon? This new doctrine. You know, he's coming up with it. Really, it's not new. It's new because now you're finally hearing the truth. You know, growing up, our people always been taught about lies.
Oh. It says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, right? And we're going to be hated of all men, man. Why? Because we come in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Al-Chakwadas, to tell you the truth. When people get offended, they get hurt.
Right.
When you've been taught a lie your whole life. That's why the Lord said, what? You can't pour new wine in the old bottle. But if you do it, it's going to explode, man. Pour some new wine in the old bottle and see what happens. The whole
burst.
vessel going to explode right in your hand, man.
Hey, just like we were talking about on the way down here, you know, the brother said it's a telltale sign when somebody used to teach you how Bashmi Yahushai, now teaching, oh, that's not the name. When all true men of the Lord know that's the name. Because he's given us the spirit, he's put the spirit on us to know his name. So now all of a sudden you got some newfound understanding. No, you're full of shit. And you're being seen, right? And the spirit is making you vomit up what you've been given. And now it's gone. You know?
That was
Huh. Yeah. Huh.
In the book of St. John, chapter 15, verse 18, it says, if the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you.
Why is that? Because he was telling the truth.
Right.
Teaching in the Father. You know, and he was saying the Son through the Holy Spirit, through the Chakwadas. And he taught his men the same thing, teaching that name. You know? That's how they was known. Who was the ones that walked with him, that talked with him, that supped with him. You know? The scriptures talk about the 12, but a lot of people forget about the 70, because you had 70 that it speaks of, man. You know? You don't know the 70s name. You had even Judas Iscariot. What happened with him? He fell out, he drugged out, man.
Oh.
You know, and he walked the path. And he was an example to show that men is going to walk amongst you that's in that same spirit.
Oh.
You know? They're going to take the bag, you know, because they couldn't handle the pressure, you know. And it's really this burden is light if you're in the right spirit, man. You know, at certain times you're going to be tested. You're going to feel pressure. You're supposed to feel that pressure, because when you feel the pressure, when you put pressure on the coal, it turns into a diamond, right? One of the roughest stones, man, was to be cut through glass with that, man. They put them on the end of drill bits, you know, to cut through things. And that's what you become, a diamond, what? To cut these people out of. You know, with the word. That's what the Lord told me to do. Word, bro.
Now it says, verse 19, if he were of the world,
Sure.
the world would love his own.
Hell, man, shit.
But
And we was out here talking what they wanted to hear.
Right.
Oh, brothers, you only got a few people that walk up and down the street that say, oh, blessings, brother, peace,
Right.
brother, and all that. A few. As long as we've been out here years, you know, got more scoffers than anyone. But that's good. You're supposed to scoff.
Right.
That's how we know we're doing the right thing, and we know what times that we're living in.
Right. Like you said, if he's out here rapping, singing, and dancing, hey man, we get a whole crowd lined up right there. Like we
when
had
they
some
be
damn
playing
concert.
When they them concerts they have every fucking year.
Right.
Everybody be out here
Yeah.
mesmerized, drunk as shit.
Right.
When the niggas was coming out here dancing,
Oh yeah.
I ain't see them niggas in the movie.
All right.
You know?
Because hey, what it say? If the thing be of men, it'll come to naught.
Right.
And everything that's been around us have come to naught.
Yahusha said, not they would love their own.
Right.
Because you got these categories, like even in lunch, you got the categories of who sit with who got, you know what I mean? But we're not of this world, so, you know, we're
Right.
in it, but we're not of it.
Right.
You know, that's why the Lord said, Paul, I believe, stated, be renewed, transform your mind. Basically renewing your mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
You
from
see,
this corrupt way of doing things.
It's a deep transfer by damn.
Like,
Oh, that's big. Get that shit. Yo, that's a good footy, bro. It's just a saint of God.
right.
That's what he really
And
is.
who are the saints?
They
Yeah.
don't even dig it. They don't even dig it. That's the truth. He's just a saint of God.
Yeah, God, that's Romans 12 and 2. Yeah. It says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind,
Right.
that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
And are we not out here doing that? Telling you that the perfect will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that had the Edomites asleep. And he was a nation. That's his perfect will. Telling you who's going to be your slave masters. Telling you your nationality, so all your nations, all the way down to us. And you heathen nations as well. You got to learn who you are too. Because you've been taught the Edomite way. So you got to know what you did as well, man. The Lord is righteous. To break it all the way down from Babylon all the way to this Babylon, man. You know? From the Egyptian captivity to this captivity. From the Roman captivity to this one. From the Greek captivity to this one. The Hellenistic period, man. You know? From the Renaissance era to right here, man. We're talking about that.
Comment?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Let me read on. It's back to St. John chapter 15, verse 19. It says, if ye were of the world would love his own.
Right.
But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you.
That's right. That's why you got men that come around to try to act like they're not of this world when they really are. Man. Those are going to be the ones that turn you over. Man. Why? Because the spirit in them all gets you to do. It's not. It's in there. The reason why they hate you because they want that spirit that you have. Man. You know, it was given to you. You can't fake a spirit when it's given to you. It's like when you go on, I believe it's 1 Corinthians, when it talks about the gifts that are given by the Spirit.
Oh,
Everybody got a different spirit.
I'm going to bring some out first street. Yeah, look at that.
You know?
That's the spirit.
Everybody
And we talk about the
got a
spirit.
different
That's the
spirit.
spirit right
Everybody
there.
got a different spirit. You know, it's different gifts
That's
given
crazy.
by one spirit. The spirit is the spirit of Yahweh, the one that created everything. You know, different
Yeah.
times. Good.
Verse 2. It says, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. It's like, if you was a prophet back then, you're going to be a prophet now. If you was a false prophet back then, you're going to be a false prophet now, right?
I want to bring this out first.
Then, which one you got?
I got you all speak the same thing. No
After that,
division.
Give me 1 Corinthians 12 and 4 after that.
This is book 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. Now I beseech ye, brethren, by the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Hamashiach, that ye all speak the same thing,
Right.
and that there be no divisions among you.
Right, so you can't. That's why you can't have them unity camps. When brothers try to come together, they can't. They got splits in their breakdowns
Right.
and their agreement. Well, they're agreements, man.
Right.
You have to believe. Well, I'm gonna say believe. Exactly. That's the right word. That's a better word to use. They have disagreements in their beliefs, man. They're like, well, I believe this. I believe this. Nah, what's the truth? Fuck what you believe. It's what's the truth, man. You know? And that's how you know it's of the spirit. If what? They all speak the same thing. From state to state. You know? It's sometimes you might do a video, then you watch another brother video, you be like, God damn. It's like y'all saying
Speaking the same thing. Yeah.
You know? That's how
All
you know
the
it's
time.
of the same spirit.
Right.
You know? So you don't gotta link up with brothers. That's how the Lord woke up different men through the spirit. Man. From right here, you ain't have to go across sea. All you have to do is the Lord. That's why the Lord told the apostles to get on the YouTube. When they hopped on the YouTube, that great awakening happened like that throughout whole Babylon, man. Because they was always on camera going back to the VHS days before the 2000. What was that? 2007. You know. So before that, they've been on camera. They've been recording things.
Yeah.
But once it got pushed, because the Lord was like, "Yo, I'm about to make this happen fast," and things started speeding up, even to right now in this time, man. You know, when there's on VHS, things is moving slow because the prophecy might happen. It might be another 5 years because the Lord was shifting. It's always a shifting in the house of Israel, man. You know, it's always a shifting in the house of Israel, man.
It says, and speak the same thing, and that there be no division among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment.
The same mind and the same judgment. Y'all be like minded. You can't think like this and you think like that. But it say a house divided shall not stand.
Yeah.
Look at Babylon. Everything is divided, man. You know? But the body of Mashiach Yahushua, what is it? It's connected. All through it. They're connected. They're made men. You know? Connected people, so to speak. Connected how? Through the spirit.
Right. How can two walk together?
Must they be agreed?
That's right.
Yeah, well, because eventually you're going to bump heads.
Right.
You know, and it's
Hey, and also that, you know, other scriptures talk about being unequally yoked, right? Yeah. You said 1 Corinthians 12 and what? It says, it's the book of 1 Corinthians, 12 verse 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same spirit.
Right. There's a diversity of gifts, but the same spirit. All right, so every man has a different talent. So every man's kid has a different talent. You know? And what is it? It's a gift from who? How about Shem Son? That's why you can't get mad at one brother for having a gift that you don't have, and you can't get mad at you for having a gift that he don't have. You know? If it's a body, it all works together. So if you get mad at a brother, you're not on the body. So you like a cancer, so you gotta go. You're irritating the body. When you got your own body, a physical body, and something irritates it, your body gets rid of it. Whether you defecate it or you throw it up. However your body sees fit to get rid of it. You sweat or whatever. You know? Your body gives you all types of warnings. And that's spiritual as well. All types of warnings. You just gotta see it. You say him to have eyes, let him see what the spirit is showing him, man.
It says, and there are differences of administrations, but the same Yahweh Bashim Shai HaMashiach.
Right, different offices. That's how you got different functions in your body. You got a brain, you got a heart, you got veins, you got lungs, you got toes, you got toenails. You got hairs. You got teeth. You got a tongue. You got all these things in the body, man. Nerves. It's a lot of offices, man.
Right.
But it's of the same spirit. Who gave it to you? One spirit. The Heavenly Father.
Hey, and it all works together, you know. Hey, you smell some good food, you see it with your eyes, it melts in your mouth. Hey, man, they get mad at each other? No, they working together. That's how a true body functions, right? It says, and there, verse 6, and there are diversities of operations, but is the same Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. But all these worketh that one and the selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. For as the body is one, and hath many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is a Mashiach.
Right, see that?
Woo.
Talking about gathering the elect, man. All one body. We all got different talents. It's like a basketball team. You got some things in your body have multiple jobs. You know?
Yeah.
Some have few. But it all works together. But that one thing in your body fuck up your whole body going through. You know, you get a hangnail or something like that. You want to feel that shit. You know? That's how important the members are of the body. That's how Yahweh Bashem Yahushua looks at his members. His members. He takes it serious. What's that song about gangsta? Take it personal. Don't take it personal. Yeah, take that shit personal. Takes it personal, man. If you say anything that you do to his men, you done it to him, man.
What's up, Elton?
You know?
Very good.
You said you did whatever you did to his men, you do to him, man. You know?
It says, for by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one Spirit. For the body is not one member, but many.
That's right.
Woo.
You know? You gotta remember that. Man. You all got gifts, you can read spirits, man, you get. Hey man, whatever talent you have, you gotta be grateful with the Lord Jesus.
Because here it go. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole body were hearing, where were the smelling? Yeah, kind of. I just went in that with the eating food. There you go right there. Yeah. Yeah. Right. It says, but now hath Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, set the members, every one of them, in the body as it hath pleased him. And if there were all one member, where were the body? But now are they many members, yet but one body. Yeah, that's beautiful. It says, and the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Nay, much more those members of the body, which seem to be more feeble, are necessary.
And that's why we be like, yo, that's why we say we all we got.
God.
That's true. You know? And through His grace and mercy and spirit of Yahweh Shem outside.
God.
You know, brothers know brothers, man.
God.
And haven't met personally. You know? But that's how you know it's of the spirit.
God.
But it's hey man. And all the prophets back in the ancient time, they knew one another. Man.
God.
Those that prophesied the same.
They were contemporaries
time,
with one
at
another.
the same time,
Yeah.
they knew of each other. And some knew each other personally.
God.
Just like Daniel with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You know, Jeremiah, Baruch. You know?
Hey, they said they greet each other with a holy kiss, right? Because that's the type of love, the Israelites have for one another.
Done. So, matter of fact,
Hey, and they wasn't backbiting one another. They wasn't talking behind people's back. They wasn't doing all that demon shit, right? They knew they needed one another in this thing, right? So they kept it spiritual. Because it is one body. Yahweh Bashim Shah. And everybody needs to play their part. Right? Jake's a different breed now, though. Shit.
they all go against each other.
Right. Different breed.
That's the reason why they not going to stand. You know? That's the reason why they out here killing each other. But they can all come together for some Black Lives Matter bullshit. Then the next day they out here killing each other.
Right.
You know? A lot of people are confused. They're in a confused state, man. And we out here to give them the truth. But what they do, they walk past, they scoff, they look at us. Whatever, who knows what they think in their mind.
Right.
But the Lord knows. They can walk past here and scoff in their mind, and the Lord will check them with them. Because the Lord, Yahweh Shah himself, when he walked, he knew the thoughts of men. You know? Every thought that they had that was ill towards you, you know, you fuck their head up.
Right. Lord gonna get you. Lord gonna get you.
You know?
Hey. Men of the Lord, hey, we ain't got to deal with you. The Lord gonna get you.
Right. Right. Matter of fact, grab Jeremiah 50. So verse 4. He said the Lord going to get him.
Hey.
You know? Let's go to the destruction. But the Lord is the one that's causing it. You know?
Are you done?
The Lord is the one that's causing the destruction of this place. And even we can go back to how we know this place is going to be destroyed, and how we know that the Bible is talking this place. We can go back to how we started off, how we know that America is mentioned in the Bible, and this is going to be the judgment of it right here. You know, when we go to Jeremiah the 50th chapter right now.
This book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 1. The word that Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet.
So now Jeremiah was actually back to his prophecy. You know? But Jeremiah, this time he's prophesying about this place. Because all the prophets saw the destruction of this place, man. All of them prophesied about Babylon being destroyed. And didn't even know what they were talking about. Didn't know which Babylon they were speaking of, because the Babylon that had already passed. It was already went down, man. You know? And Yahweh Shai made mention of Babylon, you know? So who he was talking about?
Right.
What nation was he talking about? Talking about right here. Right. The rulership. When it mentions the Romans, the second leg of the Romans, basically. That the wound, Salaki, the wound that was wounded and healed, man. That's talking about right here. That's the revelation. That's talking about right here where we're standing. Babylon, man, America. All right, the Bible's written in codes, and these people don't understand it. You know? Got it.
Verse 2. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken. Bel is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces.
Yeah, that's what we out here doing. We're lifting up the standard. All right, I'm telling you. We're showing you a way to escape out of this by telling you the truth. The truth of the Bible. And it's only for the elect. You know? You got what you're getting from?
Verse 2. It says, declare ye among the nations.
Declare ye among the nations. So that's all of you nations around the earth. Like you said, America is a melting pot. So all you nations that walk through it, we're telling you about yourself. We're telling you your future. You know, prophesying. That's what prophecy is about. Saying before it happens. Giving you warning. You know? You got it, bro.
It says, and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not.
Publish means to speak to. When you publish something, those are your words, you wrote them down. You're publishing it right now with speaking. It was already written down, so all we're doing is just reiterating the words that the Lord told us to reiterate. That was already written down. It was coming, and it's supposed to come out at a certain time, man. And now is the time for these words to come out. You know?
Yeah, that's why I said publish and conceal not. That's why it is our job to come out on the highways, byways, right? It says, say, Babylon is taken. Bel is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. Yeah. You know, and you see right now, all these philosophies are basically we're taking down their strongholds, right? Everything that has bound us really mentally, right? And especially a lot of Jake is still mentally in slavery, right? Even though, you know, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and we still go for them to the one of all things, spiritually and mentally, we out of this place. You know, we still got to do what we got to do for our daily bread. But other than that, we don't give a shit about this place and what anybody else is talking about, right? Because we're, Lord willing, men of the Lord, the hopeful elect. And we want to get out of here. And we are out of here in our mind. Because, hey, as it says, we look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein righteousness dwell. That's the mindset we got. You know, what they say in the world, that's the type of time we on. You know what I mean? Hey.
We hastily becoming this.
God. It says, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast.
And that's the nations that's giving up now. Iran, Russia, China, you know, they all going to shoot at her.
God.
Which is this whore. America, Babylon the Great.
God. Hey, that's how we know it's not talking about that past Babylon. Because that's not desolate, right? You know, it's still being inhabited, right? This place, once it gets destroyed, no more. That's it. That's all she wrote. It's just going to be a natural disaster, a museum of disaster, you know? Yeah.
Look at where Sodom and Gomorrah.
I'll see. Yeah. Yeah. So it says, in those days and in that time, saith Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek Yahweh, their power.
Yeah, we seeking right now.
Huh.
You know? God, this is a representation of us weeping, man. And we're mourning with crying for our nation. Start with the elect, man.
Right.
You know? That's what it starts with, man. You know? Then we're in our garments, which we get ridiculed for so much, is sackcloth, man.
Right.
It represents us doing it, man. Ain't supposed to be out here with these fucking garments. Like,
$500 garments, right?
You save Israel, man.
Yeah.
You get a simple garment, man.
Yeah. Like you got a mink coat on and shit. Jake in his style. Yeah.
You know? You get a simple garment doing on about there.
Right. And it should be ruffled up a little bit, right? It should be worn and torn, right? Because that's the work. That's what happens when you do work. You know?
Yo, we're still in left still in Jeremiah.
Yeah, I'm in verse 5 now.
Oh, yeah, okay, keep going.
It says, "They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, Come and let us join ourselves to Yahweh in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten."
That's right, yo. That's we hoping that our works are not going to be forgotten. You know, and that's the covenant that you want. You want to, and the covenant with Yahweh outside by Shema Rakakadasis, those laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, you got to change. You got to do them to the best of your ability. You know, we're all in the flesh, so we all fall short. All of us, man. Every last single one of us fall short.
Right.
And we're in hopes that we're going to make it. You know? It's like this place is effed up, man. On all type of levels.
This ain't living.
Right. It's like Marvin Gaye told you that.
Yeah.
You know? Good, bro.
It says, "My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray."
See that going into these churches?
All right.
You know, following the philosophy of this place. You know? They cause them to err when they're hirelings, man. They're basically hired workers to keep you going off. Like I was watching a little bit of that NFL draft, and there was this one Jake. He got drafted. I forgot what team it was, but he jumped up, and I'm like, God damn, this dude looked like he acting like he made it to the kingdom, man. You know, walking up, tears and all that. And what the first thing he did? Oh, I want to thank my Savior Jesus Christ. I said, God damn. Face clearly shaved and all that. You know? A lot of people got to come back to the Lord, man. You know? Yo, they look at that like they made it. Where did you make it to? You made it to be more faking. And that's why they paying you all that money. To keep the people entertained, man.
Right. Because they think they done made it because they in a big house with massa, right? My master got a big old mansion, you know? Hey, and that's how you say to these so-called pastors, so-called pastors, right? That lead the flock astray, lead the Israelites astray. Where do they get their doctrine from? These seminaries. Pastor Hart called them cemeteries, right? Yeah, because nothing but dead talk in them places. That's the same thing when we was on the plantation and they reading us the Bible. We believe in getting whipped, raped, robbed, buck breaking, all that nonsense, and we believe in what they saying. Right? And what's the brother that went and killed all of them?
That's right.
Yeah. Right? He said, wait a minute, this ain't saying this. Right? Even though it wasn't his time to revolt, but it shows the sign. Symbolism. Yeah, it's the symbolism. The Lord put the spirit on to do that, to show us. Right? That,
he was a man right here in Babylon. And he stayed right in the area while he was doing all that. That's how I know the Lord was with him.
Right.
And what they did, they ate him. Cut him up. Sold his piece. Made merchandise of his flesh.
Right.
That's what they do.
But he got a lot before they got him. He got a lot more of them before they got him, right? But that's the same spirit that these so-called pastors that are Israelites do to people right now, because they wanted Nat Turner to do that same thing, interpret it and tell them like we tell you, so they can be good slaves. That's the same thing these so-called Christian pastors do right now, leaving us deaf, dumb, and blind, getting your doctrine from the devil that the Bible speaks of. The biggest deceiver, and you act like you know something. It says, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill.
Dang.
They have forgotten their resting place.
You went from a high place to a low state. The Lord chose you to be a here above all nations, but now you're down here because the pastors, like the brother was saying, they erred, man.
Right.
They cause the people to err for that bag, man.
The pastor got a big old Mercedes, right? And you giving him your rent money, where you about to get evicted.
Damn, that's crazy. Because it was a pastor. I forgot. I think it was Texas, something like that. Don't get me wrong on the state, but it was a pastor just recently told a woman to sell her home and give him the type something.
Dang.
I said, God damn.
Dang.
That's how vicious they are. Man. They just blatantly in your face with it now.
Right.
Because that's where we at. That's why the Lord, this is why. What verse did you do right there?
That was 6.
Yeah, we'll go down the line.
Yeah. So you got pastors talking about some, I need a jet, because I need to travel the world.
Keep your dollar.
Yeah.
Why you gotta travel the
He
world
need a
when you
jet.
got the internet? And the scriptures tell you that this sound went into the ground. Talking about what? The internet. So the truth got to go through all 4 corners of the earth. How it's going to do it via the unicorn. What we on right now, man? You know?
Wicked, man. Wicked. It says, all that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh. Hey, and that's why they keep us sinning, because they know that separates us from our power. Right? That's like a light trying to get turned on, and it's not plugged into the socket. Right? That's the same thing. They know when we sin, we get separated from Yahweh by Shemel Shai.
Yo, read that again, bro.
It says, yeah, all that found them have devoured them, and their
so
adversaries.
All the nations that found us devoured themselves.
Right.
Look at us. And it proves it throughout history. Captivity to captivity to captivity, our people was destroyed, man. And this is the last time that as a nation our people is going to be destroyed. Because once this place is destroyed and the elect are delivered out of here, in the 1/3, then the nation's going to be brought back in their right mind, whole, in a good state. You know? There ain't going to be no all this sinning and all that. And our pastors and these prophets out here, well, the prophets of Baal, that's Israelites,
Right.
they're gonna be perfect ministers. They ain't gonna have to minister each other no more, and they're gonna all believe the same thing. One mind, sound body, man. That's why our kingdom is not going to be divided. Y'all gonna be on one accord, man. That's going to be the beauty of it. When you stick together, that's a beautiful thing, man. You know, you're not going to have ill thoughts towards each other, none of that. You know?
Hey, and that's why the danger for Esau Edom is us coming together. That's the biggest threat. And coming together in the truth. They know what's going to happen to them. It says, all that found them have devoured them. And their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh.
And that's what they said. They
Yeah.
ain't do nothing wrong. They
Right.
sin.
Yeah.
So now we able to do it.
Right.
You know, that's why they know, they know. Man.
Yeah.
So, and the Lord is allowing them to have that mindset to bring back that judgment upon their own heads, man.
Right.
You know, they said we offend not because they sin.
Yeah.
That's what they saying, man.
Hey.
That's why they pushing it to the limits, and that's the reason why more. But you introduce these things to us, man.
Right.
You know, instead if y'all didn't introduce it, y'all the type of people that introduce something to somebody, get them hooked on something, and then turn around and look at them. See, I told you it was like that.
Right.
Look at it. You know.
Hey, that's Judith the 5th chapter. When he said, hey, if they sin not, don't mess with them.
Right.
But if they sin, hey, we got them.
Right.
Got him.
Right.
Hey, they know what the prophets say. They know what the scriptures say.
Right.
Hey, that's why he said they offend not. So they allowed to do what they do.
Right. Exactly. That's why everything that they put. That's why they sneak it in your food.
Right.
Do different experiments on you to make you sin, man. To make you go on. To put them spirits on you, man. Because that's all it is. When they hit you with the needles, they're putting a spirit on you. And it's allowing a different outside influence come into your body that's strange. They try to hit you with hallucinogens and all that. They did that to them niggas in Holmesburg, man. You know?
Sick,
And look
man.
at the generation now. That can mess with your DNA. And now look at the children that you had.
Right.
That's inside of them.
Right.
And then they had children that's inside of them. So
Right.
it's an ongoing thing. Esau tries to destroy generations, man. He's a mad scientist, man. That's the way he thinks.
Right.
You know? He don't just think about his generation. For him, he's like, yo, how can I have my people benefit off of this invention to destroy this nation and just have us dominant? That's the way they think, man. That pinky in the brain mentality. Gonna take over the world. You know?
Hey, and that's why you women are bugged out too, because you got a whole lot of spirits and different people's DNA inside you.
Right.
Damn, that's why you all mentally bugged out, right? You see a woman with 5 kids and 5 baby daddies, she's a bugged out demon.
Yeah,
Right. It says, all that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations.
See that? And that's what's happening right now.
Right.
Let's look at everything that they've done to us. That's why we read from the top. This is verse 9, right?
Done.
You know, she's causing all these nations to come against this place right now. You know, why is judgment time for this place? Because of the offenses, for one, which you have done to our people. First and foremost, a great rob, murdering, and you're doing even more than that. And all your slickness is coming out even on a higher level. Because why? You got whistleblowers now, you got the internet, you got all that. So you can't hide your wickedness anymore. You know? You don't put the gun in the so-called gun in the puppet's hand. So now they everywhere. You know? And certain people still got consciousness, right? But the Lord put the spirit on them to do those things. And they were set up for that specific time. And I say the Lord is calculating on all things. That's how a lot of information comes out. Whistleblowers, what happens? The Lord allowed them. You know? But there's no thing that they do that's not going to be exposed. Right? What the scriptures tell you, there's nothing here that shall not come out. Right? You know, there's no secrets. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 9 again. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. From the north country.
You know?
And they shall set themselves in array against her.
Right.
From thence she shall be taken.
Dang.
Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Ooh.
You see that, man? None shall return in vain.
So go ahead and try to put up that dome.
That's right.
You got the golden dome you think you're putting up, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, buddy.
I got a quick one.
Go ahead, bro. Grab Zechariah 14:2. Start at
This
verse
is
1.
the book of Isaiah, chapter 13. And I'm going to start at I'm going to start at 15. It says, everyone that is found shall be
Thrust
thrust
through.
through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
Yeah, meaning when everybody that's joining the hoop. Going into the how we know that this place is talking about America. In the scriptures, which I saw a post that somebody put up a couple of days ago. It said the people are realizing, the people are starting to slowly realize that the Bible's not a fairy tale.
Right.
You know?
And neither are the men he set up
That's right.
and what they speak, because they speak
These
according.
niggas on the corner
Right.
and the
Right.
sackcloth, which are called Puritans and Scarface,
Right.
came out here and prophesied the downfall of this place and got the whole nation, not just the whole this nation, the whole earth, man, in fear
Right.
from these words that the Lord gave us.
Right.
So now you know we're not lying. Man. Go ahead,
Right.
bro.
It says, verse 16, their children also shall be dashed to pieces
That's right.
before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished.
That's right. Yo, and look, man, look what they're doing to our little brothers and teenagers. They're of age that they got their cycle, but still they're ravishing them and they're doing the wicked. You know? With all these people and if they're doing it there, well, and that's right here in Babylon. That's right here, man.
Right.
It's going on right now. So imagine it's going to become on a wide scale
Right.
when this society breaks down, the economic collapse. Because prices are skyrocketing. And a lot of people are in fear. They're talking about it. You know? Oh, this is going up and that's going out. This is talking about that little video about it.
Hey, man, we told you there's going to be an economic collapse,
Right?
so they can bring in that MOT to the B. Yeah.
So his eyes on the sparrow.
Right.
Good,
Right now they have something called stagflation. You know?
Yeah.
But people are about to start feeling it real soon. Verse 17 says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
Right, yo, hope that the Russians, they don't want none of that. They don't want none of your silver. They don't give a damn about it. Right? Neither than all these other nations.
Right.
They want this place out of here.
See how the church of their right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it is. Basically, the war on the currency.
Right.
They're ushering that season.
Hey, that was 3 years ago. They was burning American dollars.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago.
This is all the scheduled plan.
Yeah, it said,
The
this is trash.
You know?
We're not using that.
And they
It's
showing
worthless.
you. They showing you. What
Yeah.
they're doing. You know? Once they collapse this economy, the people they're going to be begging for a new system. You know? The next phrase with Jake gonna be saying, "Oh, I'm about to go chase that chip, that digital currency." You know, they're chasing the bag. You know, that's what Jake is retarded.
Hey, they said we gonna own nothing and be happy.
Right, they're
Right.
going to glorify that shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna be good, master, because I want some of my money.
That's why they want to eat in this food. Bro.
Right.
This food is bullshit. Man.
Right.
It's garbage.
It's
man.
poison.
Yo, come
Damn
poison.
devil.
Poison. This shit is poison,
You
man.
gonna take the chip to Bill Gates' factory.
There you go. That go to beloved brother McGon. Hey, Shalwan, Yabba Shabbat.
It says their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb.
Right. Meaning, y'all, the same way they had a pity on the fruit of our women's womb. Man. When these nations come through here, man, whether you pregnant or not, it don't matter.
All right.
They coming with orders to slaughter, man.
Hey.
You know, and you could when Yahweh said, he said, woe to them that give suck in those days.
All right.
Meaning the one that's pregnant, the ones with little children, it's gonna go down on y'all, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I done told you they want to depopulate the earth, and they're doing everything they can to do so.
Right.
Right?
It's like that Brazilian, it was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu influencer, I believe. Young woman. She was a beautiful woman. She was found unalive, man.
Damn.
And you know in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, so that's how you know that you're going to need a man in that day, man.
All right.
Not just anyone, a man of the Lord, man.
All right.
You know? Because he's going to be protected by Yahweh Shem son.
All right.
Not by no gun or the street code and all that bullshit.
Huh.
That shit is dead. You know? It's like, go ahead, bro.
Right, there's no street laws when you got Gurkha troops coming down.
Right?
Hey, what you gonna tell them this is my block?
You gonna say something? They just gonna shoot. They gonna shoot to
You know,
kill.
I'm like, yo, you know where you at, homie?
Right.
That's what
They ain't trying to hear none of that. They ain't trying to hear none of that.
Well, I know exactly why I'm at.
Yeah, this is my house. That's what they gonna say. Boom.
Good.
It says, their eyes shall not spare children,
Okay.
and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms,
That-
the beauty of the
And
Chaldeans.
yo, going back to what we was first talking about, how you know that this place is talking about America? The glory of kingdoms, man. You know, this is cold words, man.
Right,
You know, speaking about America,
right,
no other nation. That's why you have to know history. You know,
right.
you gotta know that this is simple.
All right.
It's neat, but it's simple to the ones that's supposed to get it. It's complicated to the ones that it's not for, man.
All right.
That's how they say, I can argue with you till you're flying blue in the face and you'll never get it. That's why we not out here doing that shit. We ain't arguing with nobody. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Goodbye, kick rocks.
Huh.
It wasn't free. Give a fuck, man. This ain't about trying to get numbers, man. It's about a number. It's a low number. 144,000.
All right.
You know, and the multitudes that the Lord had on, He knows how many that is. We don't. We were given a number, 144,000.
Hey, Lord willing to be at that
Amen.
number.
That's right.
Verse 19 says, and
But
Babylon,
hopelessly,
All right.
hey, person needs a hope.
All right.
It says, the glory of kingdoms,
Right.
the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabians pitch tents there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there.
Right.
But while
So where's that talking?
exactly,
And when did that ever happen?
exactly.
Right.
You know? That's a future prophecy. You know? And it's talking about right here where we stand today. This land that we're in. It holds there. This place.
All right.
From New Jersey, because that's the shore, all the way to California. 1 hour is one take.
Huh.
This place is fully engulfed, man.
Huh.
And off the planet.
Yeah.
Wiped away.
You'll see the mushroom
Just the
clouds.
smoke. Yeah, just smoke burn. just it in flames. You know, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah,
It
like
went
the,
down over there.
like the guy you said was walking from where? LA?
From Philly to California.
He's just gonna look at a
Yeah.
fast lane.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
And
the
he's walking and shit. That's why I'm watching. I'm like, God damn, bro. Yeah, keep going, bro. I'm on that. You know, you got people helping him out and all that. They know, oh, the Lord sent the angel and this. I'm like,
Man.
hey, whatever. Angel was meant that. You know? So you got that, bro?
Say Zechariah what?
I think 14 and so the one. Verse 2. Revelation 6.
This book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 1. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee.
Damn, what's that spoil? You know? That's the benefits that the elect is going to get. You know, it's going to be divided. Everything that Americans have stolen and taken is going to get divided to who? 12 tribes. Some of the elect, man. The Lord is coming to take the crowns off of all the heads of these people, man. I mean, all the kings of this earth. You know, because He's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, man. First spirit ever created. You know, the first one to come back and get us out of sleep. You know,
it says, "For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken."
See that? All the nations that's against Jerusalem, talking about us. He's gathering them all to the battle. You know? Right over there, what you see in Persia, in Babylon, ancient Babylon. You know? You got the new Babylon, that's how you know. They're going back to fight for their mama. Fight in that land. To be taken out ultimately all together, man. And never come back in power again. And that's the beauty of Yahweh Bashing outside, man. And that's how you know that this earth has a heartbeat, man. It has a vibration. Because they're being drawn back into that land. Why through the spirit, man? You know? Just like what? You shoot the bag up and he's going to draw us back to our land. Gravity. You know, we were once spread out in all lands. But the only ones on this planet that's never going to get their land back is the ones that's going to everybody else's land trying to take over everything.
Yeah.
And that's you Edomites, man. You so-called white people. You're not going to get your land back because you hoarded up the whole earth, man. And when and it was, you know, it was given to you, but it was never, you know, you was never meant to be a ruler, man. You know, you were a homeborn slave, man. You know?
And dwell in the cleft of the rocks.
That's right. You got it, brother.
Yeah, you steal all the land just to have nothing. At the end,
To get yours to
Yeah.
to get it forever.
you getting jacked for that shit.
You ain't had nothing to take, really. The Lord gave you that.
The Lord going to jack that.
Right. We're going to take it back because we're going to get our get back.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
It says, "And the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the woman ravished,
God damn.
and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city."
See that? That's hey man, that's what's coming. You know? It's back to brother what he read earlier. You know? We are in those times, bro. So this is the end. This is the end of the end, man. You know?
What's that one cartoon? Be it. That's all, folks.
Yeah. The Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
You know? Well,
Yeah.
how long you going?
135.
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take
Yo,
peace."
who that's talking about? Let's talk about Esau. The power that was given to him to well, I don't want to jump the gun, but it's going to say what he had power to do. You know? Go ahead, bro.
It says, "And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
So there, y'all, what's happening now, man? What's going on the whole planet with this war? The power is given to them to take the peace out of the earth at this point, at this particular time. Because it was one particular time where it was pretty much people was at peace with each other, but they had their little rights and little proxy wars, you know? It wasn't wars like how it is now on a great level, where everybody's going at it with each other. So everybody killing each other. And it's trickling down, it's going to trickle down into the streets of Babylon. And it's trickling down to the streets of all over. Because that's the spirit of what the Lord has on this place right now. On the planet. The spirit of destruction. The spirit of judgment. The spirit of chaos. That's the spirit right now. And you still have men that still got sound judgment, sound doctrine. And they're going to continue on with that. But guess what? It's going to be removed from your ears to ear. And you ain't going to be able to get this word anymore. Why? Because the Lord's going to shut it down. And that your judgment is going to really be sealed at that point in time. Pretty much already sealed.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's a war on all levels. Economic war, spiritual war.
That's right.
A holy war.
That's right.
Like, you know, world war. It's at, what's that, in 2 Corinthians 13? One realm against another,
Right,
one people against another, one nation. So it's going from nations, people, cities, realms. So, you know, hey, y'all, hey, the scripture says, like, that the Lord is a man of war. You know? But it says in verse 5, Revelation 6 and 5, and when he had opened the third seal and heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
And y'all, what's that going to right there? The hyperinflation.
Yep.
You know? What everybody's talking about. Like I heard people in the deli speak about it. Oh, if you go to this place to get an oval, you give them $20, you might get $1 back.
You ain't getting that now.
Yeah,
You ain't getting no change.
yeah, that's $20.
Yeah.
Great video, man.
Right.
And yo, even a dude told me, he was like, man, I just want to give you a heads up. You know, the price on what you drink is going to go up. I said, about how much? He's like, about 50 cents. I said, yeah, all right, cool. I said, I expect it.
Yo, a haircut is $35 now.
God damn. A haircut.
Yeah.
Yo, I remember when them shit used to be $5.
Right.
And you get a good jump.
Right.
You mean a nice jump.
$35.
Damn. That's how you know time is up.
Right.
You know? That hyperinflation, man. Yo, like you said, yo, gonna come a time you gonna have to make a decision. Am I going to eat or put gas in my car?
All right.
You know? That's how it's going down. And then, matter of fact, they got a restriction, basically, on certain things, energy, if I'm not mistaken. Donald Trump just signed that shit to restrict. I think it was energy. It was one of those, on a lot of the lines of that. One or something with the war and the gas and everything. You know, so they're reserving it. It's pretty soon, like all these people driving, they ain't gonna be able to drive no more. They gonna tell you. You can't only drive, but you can only fill up your tank once a week.
Once a week, yeah.
And you gotta ration it out. And it's gonna be high as hell to do that, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because even with the oil now, it's not as good. It's still diluted.
Right.
So you was talking about that word. You could fill up your tank. And like, You know what I mean? 10 minutes later, that shit's like almost half. You go to your crib, it's almost halfway down.
All right.
You know, but they're gonna have to rationalize all of that, man.
And yo, what does
You
that
know?
cause? What does that cause though? That cause more so of a solar control.
All right.
Yo, and you said the lights, conserving the energy. They say now over there in New York, you know, in other cities, like great cities,
Grab the ZQ4 16
there's a time,
Price for the 15.
it's like curfew. There's going to be a time when they shut the city lights on. So you can't drive nowhere if it's like that. You're forced not to. There's no
Right.
lights. But they
That's
got to
true.
pay. The city got to pay the bill, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, over there in New York, they call it, that's Con Edison.
No, when they said it, they said it's a water shortage as well, bro. But I think they said for that I forgot what technology it was, 5G or something like that. It says it takes a certain amount of water to cool it down.
Hey.
You know. So now that everything is to the point where the clamps on resources is being put on everything.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
So they want to ration it out to you. Why? That's going to force you to get the C hit and all that. Force you to run it in. That's why the Lord is telling you to trust in Him, and we got so much examples as far as when we was in the wilderness with the man
All right.
and the Lord fed us. So bring that out real quick, brother.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 15. Then he said to me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith.
See, and that's when the Lord is telling Ezekiel, right? To eat his food defiled, showing us what they was going to do over here. All right, and also letting you know in these last days that that's what the food. Look at everything,
Sure.
how they make it. It's hard to
Right.
find, man. Every time you turn around and you look at something on the internet, they're telling you how messed up this food is,
Yeah.
how it's been here, what you've been through. So everything has been exposed because there's nothing new under the sun. And anything that's done in the dark got to come to the light.
All right.
But yet you still want to eat it. So when they stop you from eating all this garbage, you can't eat. So you still want to go and get the seed to come feed your children the same garbage you would feed them that's killing them.
Right.
You know, instead of trusting the Lord and hey man, the men of the Lord gonna have power. Man. I just did a lesson on that. They're gonna soon have the power to heal people physically, man. You know? And they're gonna be able to eat and all that, man.
Hey, as soon as you buy some damn fruit, you take it home, this shit is rotten.
Yeah, come.
This
Some of
place.
that shit lasts 10 days. You know? Because it's fake.
Yeah.
All the chemicals.
Preservatives and
they don't
shit,
even
yeah.
fucking mold no more.
Hey.
You know? You might have it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And it don't turn brown.
Right.
Throwing that shit
Like
out.
them avocados.
Yeah, cut. Yeah.
Them shit be hard for you. Like,
Yo.
God damn.
Hey.
It don't
Like a
never get
baseball.
Right.
You
break
know?
a fucking-
Real fruits are supposed
You
to
can break a
Right.
mold. You can play baseball with this shit.
Yeah, but now there's talks of these dams. They're saying these dams are starting to overflow.
Oh, shit.
Yo, well,
And these
yeah,
different
keep your
areas.
mind on that.
Like
Your
the
eye on that.
different ones.
Yeah, we
So
were there, man.
All right.
Telling you.
It says, verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem,
Yeah, going to break. But
and they shall eat bread by weight.
see that? Bread by weight means it's going to come into a famine, hyperinflation. Everything's getting rationed out because of the resources is going down, man. The resources is bad. That's why people can stop piling on things. You know, they've been doing this for years.
All right.
They've been grabbing things like hey, Shalom, man.
Hey,
Shalom.
wow. Hey. Water.
Brother. But they've been stockpiling on things. They got like that army food, man.
All right.
Where you can have it'll last you for what? 5 to 6 years.
All
For
right.
10 years, man. It'll be like the powder shit. Oh, Instago, you do this and it tastes like this.
All right.
You know, they got like food to dry, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Freeze dried or something like that.
Yep.
You know?
It says, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem,
Right.
and they shall eat bread by weight
Right.
and with care, and they shall drink water by measure.
See that now, and yo, it's not just a place where there's. If you go to all these restaurants at the end of the night, they throwing shit out,
Ah,
you know. And because of their pride and everything, that's why the Lord is going to do it. He says he's going to break the staff and all that gluttonous shit. And now you see, I've seen so many videos where they got all these competitions of eating. With one person with a big ass meal that could feed a whole family
ah,
for a certain amount. They would be full of it. They still have things left over, and they give them, oh, you got an hour to eat that. I'm like, yeah, that's gluttony, man.
ah.
It is.
You know? So the Lord is like, man, that's why I said he's going to break the staff of that shit, man. You know? You're going to drink water by what measure? And I believe right now there's some water shortage, man. You know? So these people, man, they don't understand what's coming to this place. And all the prophets prophesied about it. Man. It's a sin. You know? That's why they think they're in good cause, because of certain things. They got different apps and everything where things look so cheap. And you're like, oh, everything is cool.
Yeah.
But everything is being ripped away from you, man.
Ah.
Keep going, bro.
It says, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment,
That's right.
that they may want bread and water and be astonied one with another and consume away for their iniquity.
That's right. See that? Come on, man. Man, it's about to get rough out here.
Ah,
You know? Like when you're going to what? Second Ezra the 15th chapter. When it talks about they're going to run it, they're not going to regard their neighbors. You know, they're going to go burn their houses for lack of bread, man.
ah.
With swords in hand. You know? So apparently you got a lot to pay for, man. And what is that talking about? Where is that talking about? Right here, man.
Ah.
You know? Because this place is so, man, this is a place where it's so wasteful, man, with everything. You know? They just throw it, you don't want it, just throw it out.
Huh.
You're going to remember that. All the food that you wasted in that time, though, your stomach touches your back, you're going to remember what the fuck you threw up and wish you had a chance to eat it then.
Yeah.
In that time, man. You know?
Hey, Malak, I was at that supermarket one time. I was stocking, heavy stocking, and I had to go through each shelf to look at to look at every good or whatever that's on them shelves to see if they expired.
Bad or good? Yeah.
So a lot of them, if it's 1 day old, just 1 day,
Yeah.
I gotta put it in the cart, throw it out. I mean, like 4 or 5 big bags of things that's edible. You know, and this one dude, this was in Philly, just recently, he's walking by, dropping pizza on the floor, trying to put it back. He was like, no, you're a big deal. No, that's good. I'm recording it. But in my head, I'm like, nigga, if there was no food, you would have picked it up and ate that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's what they're going to resort to. Like the people, you see how the people, you know, the trash, the bums and all that. Yo, wow. Normal people that had a Fortune 500 job or whatever, they're going to be doing that shit, man.
Ah.
A lot of them going to be killing themselves because they're not going to be able to handle it. You know? Eating their children and all that shit, man. In the book, what's that, the First Kings? No? You got that book there?
In Leviticus chapter 26, verse 26, it says that when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven,
God damn.
and
You share it.
and they shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and ye shall eat and not be satisfied.
That, yo, so you still going, like, yo, in that first Great Depression, they was rationing out everything, man. You know? Matter of fact, they try to show you that with that Anne Frank movie. And oh, it's so hard for us, and cops are and all that. You know? And how they rationed out stuff there. But it's going to get way, way, way worse here. It said 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven. And that's crazy. It's like 10 households. You know, the same thing.
Ah.
You know? And that's being rationed out too. You're going to eat and be hungry. That's what's coming here. But the Lord said his men shall eat and be satisfied. That's the flip side of things, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
It says,
150.
that was but I got what you had quoted in 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 21. It said, Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
Right. I remember back years before the pandemic, right? When I was doing security at ShopRite on Aramingo, they had it was who was it? The women used to come through. There was coupons, and they had all these coupons. They was going around the store. They would be in there for hours, man. And I'm talking about they grabbed so much stuff, right? God damn, that's unnecessary. It's unnecessary, boss. So I upset the spirit when he can't. But they used to be in there for hours shopping, right? And when they would come to the counter, yo, by the time they paid for everything, I'm talking about, yo, it looked like they had, say if they had like $200 worth of stuff, they might have paid like close to $50. I'm like, God damn, with all them coupons. And that's what I used to think about. I was like, damn. And they was going and selling the stuff to people on the streets so they could sell it. I'm like, yo, they coming up. And that made me think about that scripture which you just read, man. That the victuals shall be so good cheap that they think that themselves are being great cause, but still evils was going on the earth. And that was before the pandemic. But then that hit. So that messed it up, where everybody was losing their jobs and everything. Thank God that wave crashed, but still, and they thinking themselves still being good case, but still evils are still going on the earth, man. You know? It's waves. One wave hit, boom, then another wave comes, and another wave. So that final tidal wave come to drown your ass up out of there, man. That's right.
I got one real quick. Verse 20, verse 22.
Yo, that's what I just
had. Yeah.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
That's the spirit.
You in the spirit? Read it. Read it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the spirit.
It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown.
Right. So the markets, the shelves are going to be unmanned, unstocked. Because y'all, what they say, a market got about 3 to 4 days of food for the whole area. That'd be man.
Right. Yeah, you got it. Huh? Yeah.
She ain't gonna dress like that in that
How you say that?
Well, with you, she is.
God.
Put that on. I'll be in the room later.
Because you know what's doing. They gonna be out here ravaging. Now you got like 3 to 4 days worth of food. Then you got like a whole community. So them little small property stores and all that. Oh man, listen, they gonna run through that real quick. That's the neighborhood alone. Poppy himself from every shit for himself. No, because it's gonna get that bad. Dude, like these places, and then you ain't gonna be able to freely go into a market or anywhere to buy food.
Right, and the restaurants need the food from the market, right? So they ain't gonna have nothing either.
And Esau again, they getting prepared for it. That's why they locking things up in these cages.
Right.
And I'm talking about like cannibal type shit. You're gonna need that sea hip to hit, man.
Right.
They even hit you just to the door of the ocean. They ain't gonna be able to be buying all that shit. You saw them. They're well. They pre-planned things. They're well prepared for it, man. You know, they've been having these plans for years. It's centuries, man. Decades. You know.
See how they operate with the trains,
Right. Yep.
the airports, turnpikes.
They let them niggas jump over for so long. Like, you know what? We got you. You know?
It says, and suddenly, verse 22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
That's right.
And he even tells you that what in Ecclesiastes,
Right.
you know, that the grinding shall be ceased.
Cease.
You know? So there ain't gonna be no chasing the bag like the brother said earlier. No, you're gonna be chasing motherfuckers to eat.
Huh.
No,
Or man, you're gonna be being chased back.
right, bro.
You know, that's why the scripture say we shall be even as pilgrims on that day, man, sojourners off the grid. Because we're not gonna take that. You know, the men of the Lord is not gonna take that, not gonna see it. So they're gonna be forced to be like in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Revelation 16,
You know,
13.
you're gonna be in the wilderness, you know, having faith in the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
The Lord did it before. How he fed the prophets
Right.
with animals,
Right.
you know, fed Daniel.
Lions, man.
Right.
And that's I was just listening to that song. Let me see.
Make water come out of a
Said
rock.
He said, "Sound right means like him and Bendigo." He's like tossing the fire and they never get burned. But he was going through all of them. He said, Daniel was thrown in the lion's den. He said, and the lions became a friend in him. You know? He said Jonah was swallowing the whale. He said and lived to talk about it. I was like, damn. So I was like, when I'm listening to this morning, I'm in the spirit like, damn, the Lord's letting us know. Preparing us, man, for that mindset. When that's how you gotta think, man. The Lord, well, first of all, he always gonna be there for you. No matter what you're going through. He's always there with you, man. And he promised you that. You know? And these are references that we have to go back to reference on our ancestors. How they went. You know? But it's all a preparation. You know, the Lord's prepping you for this to come. You gotta know.
You said 16,
16,
13?
start at 13,
It says in the book of Revelation, 16 verse 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon.
what's that? The economics, the military conversation. No? That's those unclean spirits, right, bro?
And out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
The false prophet going to the Roman Catholic Church, you know, and that's the part. That's the major. That's the church that runs all churches, you know, on the planet. Wherever you go. How you know when the Pope came here to Philadelphia, and well, matter of fact, Babylon, when he was in D.C., you had every different denomination of church come to him just to meet him. T.D. Snakes is out there, Joel Osteen, all of them went right to them and meet him, and that's how you know that the Catholic Church is the false prophet, and they're going to be that one world religion. That's what they want. You gotta know.
It says, for they are the spirits of devils, working miracles which go forth unto the kings of the earth.
That's it. Go forth to the things of the earth. I was just talking about it. Go and spread that philosophy, that doctrine. You know? And it's all basically it's all about money. And when you look up how many members that the Catholic Church has now, the numbers are up their head up. That's that. You look at how many members of the Catholic Church have right now. You know?
It says,
How many members of the Catholic Church have? See what you get. But I'm telling you, that's why I mentioned them as a false prophet. Because to gather a lot of people in, you got to be speaking lies, man. You got to be false. But if you was telling the truth, people didn't want to get away from it. You know? So it's only good we talking about one thing. Amongst all the Christianity on the planet. The Catholic Church dominates all of it. All religions, man.
1.42 billion.
Billion.
Mm.
1.42 billion.
1.42 billion members of the Catholic Church. That's a lot of people.
Ah.
You know? Matter of fact, look up how many kids, how many Muslims are the Muslim faith.
Yeah, it might be more.
I know they was gangs. That was 1.42 billion. That's I know they deep.
Yeah.
Islamic is 2 billion.
I was gonna say it's probably more. Yeah.
I was saying, so it might be more.
Yeah.
And that go back to the Holy Land. How many Christians?
Yeah.
Christianity is 2.3 to 2.6.
2% billion? God damn.
No, damn.
Yeah, but see, but that still goes back to the Catholic Church.
Yeah, it's
That's
still.
why
Yeah.
The church wants to.
See, that's why they're trying to use those key pieces to bring in that Abrahamic religion
Yeah.
to come together with some false motivation. I'm about to ask you.
They probably put Catholicism with the Christianity too. Probably what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They falling off. Christianity's falling off
Yeah,
here. At least here.
Yeah.
Them churches is nobody in the pews.
1.2 billion.
It says, and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of Yahweh Almighty.
That's what the Lord is doing. He's right. He's gathering all the kings of the earth to that battle in Armageddon. You know? And that's what they're talking about right now. You have to pass it down. That's what they're talking about right now. You know? As far as what this, they're calling this a holy war. But we know it's not.
That's some questions will come out, man. That's some questions will come out.
You're right. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor. Yeah, free and bond. And no, you ain't got to receive a mark in his right hand or their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark with the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Right. And that's what's coming out. You know, that seed. Your new currency is this whole word about, right? That's how you know that we in these last days, the last time, these last prophecies. All right? And that's what they're going to start tricking people, man. They trick you into their new currency.
All right.
Then they're going to get rid of this people problem. You already got your people. Go ahead, bro.
It's Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image. And whosoever,
Meaning, like, you're going to get those swords on in your body, that radiation because it's cancer. You ain't going to have no rest day nor night. Look at those people that took that jump shot. A lot of them messed up. So magnify that when you think that radiation. Go ahead, bro.
and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image. And whosoever receives the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Yahweh Shah.
Right, man. So, hey, man, don't take it. That's all we're going to say.
All right.
So next week, we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of great news. Most shalom to the elect. So next week, we're going to say Mawafa Baba Bar.
Mawafa Baba Bar.
Kwam Yasharal.
Come here, shout. Wow.
Another one down, baby. Got a little two-piece.
Yeah.